Welcome to another edition of Interruptions. My next guest is a former NFL player, played for the Chicago Bears, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Washington football team. Now he's a actor. You have seen him on TV shows like Meet the Browns. You've seen him in films like 35 and Ticking. And he's also been on a new show, Saints and Sinners. I'm talking no other than the new brilliant actor and former NFL player, Karon Riley. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? What's going on, Otis? And just one minor adjustment on the introduction. That was really good, but you always got to say the Joseph, baby, because Karan Riley was the football player. Karan Joseph Riley is the actor.
Karan, okay, Joe, okay, all right,
Yeah,
all right.
it's funny when I made the decision when I switched over.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna drop Riley altogether and just go with Karan Joseph.
Oh wow.
Right. So I need to create a whole new identity, a whole new like Google stream and everything, because
Okay,
I wanted to come into the game as an actor and earn it by my own merits. And I
okay.
also didn't want the double stigma of athlete trying to be an actor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could, you get that sometime in this game where you see athletes that kind of moonlight and do things, and they may not take it serious at the time because at the time they're an athlete. And I didn't want that stigma. I wanted everybody to take me serious as an actor. So for me, I was simply trying to, I didn't want no casting directors to look up Karan Riley and all of a sudden all this football stuff come up and they
Gotcha.
automatically discredit me.
Okay.
Or that type of thing. I really wanted to create a whole new beginning. But then my agent at the time was like, "Man, listen, you have done some things that you should be proud of, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
in the world, that's credibility that you definitely have earned. So do not, forget that part of you, add it to who you are, and
Yeah.
let that speak to what you do." And that resonated with me. So I was like, all right, let's just do Karan Joseph Riley, and
Okay.
I'll keep the base of myself, but add a new element
Admit to
to
yourself.
acting, which is Joseph. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I've watched you from afar, man, and been so proud, man, because like I said, I had a chance to kick it with you once when you were playing for the Falcons, and then
Yeah.
to look up one day, and I was like, "Hold on, is that Karan acting? What? Hold on!" And but then I kept seeing you. It's one thing to see somebody one time, and you say,
Right.
"Okay, he trying to do something new. I get it. He trying to find himself or whatever." But that's not what you did, and so I salute you, man. To you have become something. You evolved into becoming an actor and good at it, So my first question for you was, how was it for you starting back in the beginning on draft day when you got drafted? Because you came into an era where the draft was starting to get all this hype. It was starting to become a show. So how was it for you and your family that on draft day for you?
Man, it was embarrassing as hell, man. Literally, man. Because in my senior year, bro, I mean, if anybody did research on me and knew my college numbers, man, there hasn't been a defensive end to come out in the last 20 years who had my stats that made it in the that hasn't gone in the top 10. Like I
Right.
had top 10 numbers coming out, bro, against top 10 competition. It wasn't like I did, it wasn't like I led the SBC ABC league in
Right.
sacks. I led the Big Ten in
10
sacks for
sacks.
2 years. You know what I'm saying? Not 1 year, two
2 years.
years. Now, the first year, okay, nobody knew about me. I come out the dang darkness. That was my whole theme for the year. Ghost in the darkness. I'm coming out of the darkness. You ain't gonna even know hit you before you hit, right? So
Right.
then, okay, I get 16 sacks my junior year, come into my senior year, and I'm a marked man. Everybody in the dang on Big Ten know about me now. So,
Right.
offenses are gearing up themselves against me. And I still came back and got 13, right?
Yeah.
Right. So draft day, Mel Kiper that year had me going number 2 after Michael Vick as early as the third or fourth game in the season, right? So I'm sitting to myself like, okay, that's about right, And so we got the combine. I had a pretty solid combine, man. The combine really is not set up for your success, but I came back and had an excellent pro day as
Okay.
well, and at that point, everybody was still trying to figure out what I was going to be in the NFL because at the time, Michael Vick was still in college with me. We drafted the same year.
Yep.
So defensive ends the position I played in college was still 6'5", 280,
Yep.
290. You know what I'm saying? I was 6'3", 255 speed guy. You know what I'm saying? I was the first evolution of what was coming next.
That
But
tweener. Yeah.
yeah, the tweener position, which is now the position. Like that, every defensive end is my size at 250 now. Like if you over 250, you can't even be a bookend no more. Like they don't even allow you on the field. So when Michael Vick came in the league my rookie year, same year we both hit, as he simultaneously changed the league, my value went up later. But by that time, I was already into the league, and it was, I actually moved to outside linebacker and went to my natural position
Correct.
of a pass rushing linebacker, which was
Correct.
great. But what you learn early on is where you come in drafted at will always follow you depending on that first year. So for me, the draft was embarrassing because not only did I not go first day, which I should have at the minimum been a third round. You see what I'm saying? I mean, after the whole bottom falls off, I test for damn positive for cancer or some shit. I don't know. That I still should have been third round.
Right.
But I did. I went first day, second. First day, second day I was called like right away in the fourth round. So it felt there was some kind of consolation. But I got drafted in the fourth round, so I came into the league, man, with a chip on my shoulder of already kind of feeling like, okay,
You slighted.
I got to keep proving myself. But at the end of the day, it was a blessing still to be drafted because I know that's a lot of people's dreams. And I guess at that time, I just I didn't really see the whole big picture of life at that time, but I just knew that I was better than a fourth round draft pick. And I always knew I was better than a fourth round draft pick. But again, that wasn't in my cards for me to have a long NFL career. I got my pension, got a t-shirt and some arthritis to show for it and a lot of good nights of partying. Speaking of one of those, is you and I can remember one of those.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But again, man, yeah. So draft day for me was a little bittersweet for me.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I thank you for your draft class. Your draft class was the class that made me get into sports management. It was so big, especially because you also played with Michael Vick. And when my wife heard that Michael Vick had ran like a sub 4.3 on grass, she's like, "Baby, you got to get into business. You got to get." And that draft class, I ended up getting in sports management, was doing marketing endorsement, for athletes, and it was crazy. So, if it wasn't for your draft class, I wouldn't have gotten to where I was in sports management, and then ultimately gotten to what I'm doing now with podcast. So I appreciate that 2001 draft class.
Hey, looking back on the Otis, I appreciate it too, bro. Like I say all the time, man, it prepared me immensely for this next hat trick I'm pulling with actor, producer, and the writer, and just the overall entertainer in the game, man. And it gave me such a fortitude that I can't be rattled, man. I just keep moving forward with the plan, and I know how that looks, and I know how that feels. Even if sometimes you even feel like a fourth round draft pick in this game, you ain't out till you out. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no thing where you out when you lose a step. You know what I'm saying?
You can do this longer.
I get finer with time, baby. So it's only, this is how I'm gonna be going till it's over.
Well, you segue to kind of to my next question, which is what's the most important thing that you learned about yourself going through the ups and downs and everything playing in the NFL?
What I learned is that anything I put my mind to, anything that I put my mind to, I see as a vision, and if I put the work in, it's just a matter of time before it's realized. And if I'm being completely honest, just for myself in real life, it's like I never loved football like that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah, I was a basketball player who switched over to football because I knew. See, my overall goal as a kid was as a first grader, I wanted to be an actor. That was my first dream. I wanted to be an actor since I could
Wow.
play. And
Okay.
I played Puss in Boots. It was the first grade. I never forget it. My mother screamed so loud. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing in my whole life, right? Uh,
Okay.
I love the cheers. I love the adoration. I'm gonna admit it. I love the attention. It is what it is.
Okay.
We run into these actors sometimes like, oh God, I don't want the paparazzi. I don't want this. I don't want that. Dude, yes you do. Stop tripping. You're
Stop
not.
it.
You really, like, honestly, if you're an actor, if you're doing anything, you love attention. Now you may want to act like you don't, but you do. I'm just
Right.
gonna admit it, tell you straight up. I love the attention, and it's cool with me. I understand the process of it. So for me, it just came down to it taught me that I can do anything, Otis. Like my brother
Okay.
really told me something really dope when I was like as I was transitioning out of the league.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, look, man, you made it to the 1% already.
Yep.
So getting back to the 1% is like muscle memory. So that resonated with me so hard because it was like, wow. Then if for people listening and just watching this to understand what the 1% is in acting, that's an actor that can take care of his family through acting. That's the
Yep.
1%. So here's the second part of that. So when I said that, I said, okay, then I have a new goal then is to get to the 0.5%, which is Will Smith, which is Denzel Washington, which is The Rock Johnson, which is, Don Cheetos of the world, the guys who can create a complete legacy of film and make hundreds of millions of dollars and really change and do a lot of things with their platforms. That's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I decided. I was
You
like,
on
look,
your
that's
way. You on your way, man. You are on your way.
I
What
received that.
so let me ask you this. So I know you said when you was younger, you was in grade school, you wanted to be an actor. But once you left the league, how did acting come about? How did you get like now let me do what I really wanted to do. So how did you get into it?
For one, it was something I never took my eyes off of.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows me and knows me well knew, even when I was in the midst of playing football,
Mm-hmm.
I watched a ton of movies. I
Okay.
studied film, and they were like, "Man, what you watch a lot of movies?" I said, "I'm gonna be an actor when I finish this, dog." So like, you guys like to sit here and watch film or football. Like me, I'm already watching, The Godfather every day. I'm watching different historical films, Rocky, and
Okay.
reading. And I started taking classes towards the end of my career to start training. I started going out to LA and taking classes. My last few years, I started training. I said, all right, look, I got to start preparing for my
Yeah.
next move
Yep.
now, because instead of waiting until this is done, I have to really start from zero. I'm gonna start now. So when I finish, I just gotta just keep my momentum going from this. So I started taking classes. I started pursuing acting even more, just in my energy. And as soon as I
Okay.
left the Washington team in 06,
Yeah.
I went to LA and I was like, all right, it's time to start this acting thing, right? And my brother at the time owned a record label, and
Okay.
one of the artists was Tank, and Tank,
Okay.
dabbles in acting as well. He's
Yeah.
actually a really good actor. I wish he would just focus on it a little bit more.
Yeah,
But he's
because I sometimes I forget he can sing. Yeah, you're
no
right.
man, no, I say this, and I put this in on record in the world with you, Otis.
Sure.
Tank Darrell Babs is probably one of the most talented human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
He can do comedy, he can sing, he can act. I mean, and he's just a really good dude. So, he's one of my guys, one of my brothers in the game, and just one of the people I support and love, unconditionally. He and I've been through a lot of things over the last 20-some years, knowing each other. And
Okay.
yeah, so to get back on the story, my brother was like, all right, so you want to come do the acting? Here's the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. Tank is about to go on the road doing a play. We got a single, Please Don't Go, about to drop.
Yeah.
We're going to piggyback all of the cities that the play is going to, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go manage Tank on the road. We'll pay you, and you'll go to the radio stations, every city you go to, and basically push the single,
Okay.
and it was, and that's what I did. We get to a new city. I make sure all the stuff is good with the promoter and Tank stuff. Then I run to the radio station, drop the single on them, get Tank to come and do a club night, when
Right.
we'll be in the city for the weekend. So club night, Friday or Saturday, and just, get that money and just do it. But in the meantime, my brother's whole thing was like, yo, you get to be around the play. You get to see the actors, you get to kind of become, see what the world is and start learning like that. Because I come, in sports, they always say, my coach used to always say, man, your brain doesn't know the difference between a physical and a mental rep.
Mm.
So think about that. So,
Mm.
I watch TV, I watch movies. Like there be actors doing a scene. I'll do the scene after they do the scene in my own way, as I'm watching the movie, because the brain doesn't know the difference. Because like when we on the sidelines, my coaches would be like, "Pay attention," because your
Right.
brain does not know the difference between you being out there versus you being on the sideline. So why waste the time to learn and make the mistake without even having to get hit? So that really resonated with me as well. So ever since then, I've been a sponge. If I'm going to be around, I'm gonna always constantly watch, absorb, learn, and
Gotcha.
and that's what I did, man. So it put me on track with the play because I met my wife on that sad play, and after that it was just a course. It was like this is what I'm doing, and I started the plan, bro.
So what is the for you? I always ask every actor this question because I wonder, everybody's journey, everybody's path, and everybody internalize everything differently. So what is the audition process like for you? Do you come as yourself and then just read the script, or do you try to come somewhat as the character based on what you've been given the outline of the character?
Early in my career, I would try to do the breakdown, basically what was what they wrote,
Hmm.
and it's called the breakdown. You get it. They say, what's this character like, and if he's aggressive, he's funny, he's blah blah blah. They give you a couple personality traits, and
Hmm.
in my career, and it worked. You go in and you play into those stereotypes of what they wrote down on the page, or do you go in and you just be true to the character and true to what you are?
Hmm.
So as I got later in my career, and I've been working with a new acting coach the last few years. Her name is Sarah Mornell of Mornell Studios, just to get at,
Okay.
she plug to her. She's a really dope acting coach. She really helped take me to another level in my craft
Okay.
because she really got me back to just basically saying, Karan, you're dope just as you are. Like everything you just come with, you're dope.
Hmm.
You don't have to go into an audition or go on to set and make up something that you haven't lived or haven't done. You've lived a million different experiences. You've experienced a million different emotions. My job is to get you to trust those emotions and trust those
Mm.
experiences and basically relive them in front of people, depending on what the words on the page are
Right.
telling you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So for me, at this point in my career in audition, I just show up because I'm gonna show up and give you who I am, like what I do. Like this is my take on the character. Love it,
Gotcha.
hate it. I'm cool with how you feel. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna have fun doing it because I'm the only one in this room not getting paid. I'm gonna take my moment. I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna control the room, and I'm gonna do what I do. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There's no hard feelings. You probably just could have made. You probably didn't make your movie better not picking me, but you're learning in the end. But again, another part of the evolution, Otis, is as I'm producing myself now. I'm not
Okay.
waiting for somebody to call me to audition anymore, bro. Like you said, I'm aiming for Will Smith. I'm aiming for Dwayne Johnson. I'm aiming for Denzel. Those guys control their destiny. They don't sit around and wait for somebody to send them a script. They get a script
Wow.
that they like. They put it together and they go get the money and they produce it because they're bankable stars and they make the money back for whoever want to do it. So I partnered up with my brother Marcus Smoot of Smoot Films, and
Okay.
we just finished our first feature together as partners, and we about to start another one in a couple weeks. And I'm starring in all of them, man. And that's the blueprint. He's gonna take control of my narrative and help me shape my career in a way
Sure.
like and now so for me, I audition all the time, but I audition with the feeling of I may not even be able to work it anyway because I'm about to be shooting my own movie at that same time and whatever. So again, that's a whole nother level of power for me. And soon I'll be cracking into Africa. I'm gonna start working over there. So I'm
Oh
about to get
man,
into
do
that.
your thing.
And
Do your
then,
thing, man.
then it's over for America.
I like that, man. Not waiting on someone to give you something, or when I say give you something, I mean the opportunity. Is you say, you know what, I'm gonna create a lane,
Yeah,
and
you go out and
and then
take it.
I'm gonna make the opportunity chase me instead of me trying to chase the opportunity.
Yeah, well, it comes back to one of my mantras I live by, man. I don't chase people. I chase my purpose. I don't
Gotcha.
chase money. I chase greatness. You know, once
Wow.
if I can get a hold to greatness, While I
Uh-huh.
got my purpose in the other hand,
Right.
the money and everything else is gonna chase me. You see what I'm saying? Like I won't be
Wow.
able to outrun it. It's gonna be an abundance of flow into me. So for me, I just work on what I'm given, what the Most High put me in position to be, man, and worry about that, man. I worry about making that the best version of that. Period. Dawg. Every day I wake up, man, I'm working on being the best Karon Joseph Riley I can be. I work on being exactly who I say I am. If I'm saying I'm Pan African and I'm supporting Black people, I go
Right.
out of my way to do it. You know what I'm saying? If I say I'm producing my own shit, I go and
You
produce my own
producer.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever I say I'm gonna do, I gotta do it, man. So
You
because I tell people all the time, our words are spelled.
Yep. You are living a quote that I just posted on Facebook today, and it's funny because I do the same thing you do. Far as I love movies, love getting for different types of movies, and I took
Mhm.
this um quote from one of the Rocky movies, and he said Sylvester Stallone said every champion was a challenger that refused to give
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
And that's what you were just saying is just like, hey, I'm a champion. I've been a challenger, but because I refuse to give up, trust me, I'm always be a champion.
It's my whole other life mantra, man. Keep peddling. You know what I'm saying? That's
Keep
like
pedaling.
that's my whole thing. I got a clothing line coming with it. I got books coming behind what keep peddling means, each letter, and it's a whole thing for me. Oh, it's like this whole I tell people all the time, man, you are like, oh, this everything you're doing right now has been
Right.
shown to you in a vision.
Yep.
This podcast, your
Yep.
your your sports thing you did with the agency,
Yeah.
all that came to you as a vision. You know what I'm saying? And part of and some of it came from your wife that you were married to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all of that plays a part in your destiny. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's why it's important about who you surround yourself with, who you spend the most time with, because that can make or break you. So, like, I'm a big proponent of once the vision has been given to me, I don't trust nothing but that. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
just keep pedaling. I keep moving forward. Like no matter what the weather is doing to me, meaning whatever the industry or whatever challenges are coming toward me, I just put my head down like I
And
did
keep
in
pedaling.
football, like I did in sports, and I just one foot in front of the other, man. And one day you bump right into your goal, right? One day you run right into your dream. You're like, oh shit, I'm here, and then you say, okay, I did that, and what's next? So then you put another goal out there and you
And
just
keep
boom, you
pedaling.
start moving again, keep pedaling, you know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
I
I
tell
love
people
it.
all the time, man, there's nothing, especially, especially if you black,
Mm-hmm.
nothing you can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
believe
most
all of us
definitely.
are God's children, but I believe that there's also favorites. And sometimes the favorites got to take the hardest road, which I think black people are in the midst of right
Favor
now.
ain't fair.
Yeah, and favor
Favor.
ain't fair, but at the same time, once you realize you got favor, then you got to do better.
You
So
got to do
I just
better.
think for us as Africans in this world, we got to start realizing, bro, we are the children of God, man. The sun gives
Amen.
us nutrients. That's the source of life. If that don't make you realize how powerful
Was
you
you
are, what you gonna do?
boy, you just said something on Good Friday, boy. The real Good Friday, you know. So, how did you meet your lovely wife, Terry Vaughn?
Doing the play that I was once I started doing research into acting, I did the
Uh-huh.
play with the Father Karon, and she was doing that same play. We spent 3 or 4 months together on the road, and she was going through a divorce, and it was just a lot of just friendly, just friend, like we were just
Right.
cool. And after talking and getting to know each other more, and it was the one night we was just sitting there talking about stuff at the bar. We would do a show, and we would always get back to the hotel and kind of either go out, or we would just kind of chill at the
Sure.
bar and kick it up with the cast. And one night we were just kicking it, man. I realized she read a lot of books that I read, and
Mm-hmm.
saw a lot of things the way I saw them. And of course, she's gorgeous, so that part was easy.
Right.
But the spiritual and the mental stuff lined up, and the value system. She really valued her family. She had a strong family support system, which I
Sure.
had. And my mother always told me to, always make sure you stay equally yoked with whoever you
Correct.
decide to deal with. And women in my life was not a problem. You know, I had plenty of those at
Right.
the time, you know, but along the lines, it was always something maybe missing here or something
Sure.
maybe missing here. As far as the foundational stuff that I would consider something I can build on,
Hmm.
all of them were gorgeous. All of them were great people. It just once you know when you find your wife, you just
When you
don't.
know, you know.
Yeah, when you know,
You just
because bottom line is, bro, as a man, you can attest to this, and every man I know watching this can attest to this. It ain't natural for none for men. We don't think nothing like them.
correct.
So you have to find the one that you could think like the most sometime.
You're right about that. And I met your lovely wife once, and it was so crazy because I was meeting someone at the green room when she had the green
Ah,
room,
yeah,
and it was a former Duke player. He said, "Man, meet me at the green room." I said, What's the green room?" He said, "Terry Vaughn, you know the actress." I said, "Yeah." He said, "She's got a spot over by Frank Ski's restaurant," and I said, "Okay." And what impressed me about your wife was she was cleaning up her own place. She was picking up stuff after because the place was about to close. And I told her, I said, "You just put me in a whole new headspin." And she was like, "Wow." She said, "Why you say that?" I said, "Because of, sometimes you can hire somebody, trying to bless them, give them a job and stuff like that." I said, "But you're in here cleaning your own spot." And
yeah.
I said that just put me in a whole different headspan. I said, "Continue much success." And I met Rodney Perry there the same night.
That's
And
yeah.
well, see, it's full circle because I interviewed
I wasn't there. I was usually I must have been working at the time. I probably
you.
was shooting.
Yeah,
Probably was the time I was shooting that Ali movie.
could have been. And it was just crazy. So now interviewing you, I've interviewed Rodney Perry. It's like it's kind of like full circle. So um how do you my final question is, how do you balance marriage, parenthood, and just being in the industry, because both of you guys are in the industry, so how do you balance that all out?
I balance it. I balance it out with an equally great partner as far as understanding that there needs to be a balance first. The second part of that would be I balance it out by just being the busting my ass at all three of them. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
sure.
I compartmentalize when it's time to go hard at one versus the other. You know,
Hmm.
when I'm in production, it's really hard to be the best husband, the best dad, and the best producer and the best actor all at the same time. So, like, I might, sometimes thankful that sometimes Terry's working on the
Right.
project as well. We just finished the last project we did together. She was
Okay.
directing, I was acting, I was producing. So that was a melting pot of everything. So, and our kids was in the movie too. So it was a family affair. But then the next one is I won't be, she be directing another project for somebody else. I'll be producing this one and starring in that one. The kids will be, I don't know where the kids gonna be. We ain't worked that out yet. But again, I'll have to compartmentalize at the time and figure out what's needed of me in different departments. Of course, you know what I'm saying. What's going to
Sure.
take precedence? Carrie's going to be working on the movie as a director, so I won't even be on her radar, which is great because now I can focus on the movie, acting, and the kids, and make sure
Right.
they're covered. And she can do the same thing on her craft and the kids. So the
Gotcha.
kids ain't gonna miss a beat. Her job ain't gonna miss a beat. Me and her, we'll check in how we check in whenever we can get. Once we get through the smoke of it, then be like, oh
Sure.
shit, another one. And we're scheduled to do the next one after that movie together again, where she'll be directing, I'll be producing, I'll be starring in it with her. So we'll be right back in together again. So it's starting to get to the point now where we're starting to pull our projects together and starting to benefit each other a lot more in this world, which is part of my plan, man. When I first started, there was no way I could walk in the same room as Terry J. Vaughn in the beginning of my career because of what she had already accomplished and the time she had already put in. And the world just doesn't work like that. You have to put the time in. You have to,
Sure.
pay your dues. But after 13 years doing this now, nobody remembers me ever as a football player. They only know me as an actor now. I think I have completely transformed that, and I've earned my respect in this game. And I think now I'm at that point now where I have to force my will on them. Now it's time to force my will and really bend the entertainment industry to my
Sure.
will.
Well, I tell you what, man. When you guys get a moment to breathe, because I know you still here in the ATL, just like myself. I told you PR person, and because I told Rodney and JJ Williamson, I did an interview with both of them together, and I said, hey man, we get a time when everything is kind of somewhat normal, whatever the new normal will be. And
Right.
man, you come on out to the house, y'all ain't got to do nothing, man. I put some stuff on the grill, man.
Oh
And
man, say less, brother. I love to break bread with like-minded
yeah,
spirits, brother.
yeah,
Trust me, man. Just hey, say less, man. I I'll when you start recording, we either jump back on real quick and and give you all the information. We make sure we lock in with each other, and
okay,
that's easy, man. Like you said, whenever we get that moment to breathe, which is coming soon, we're gonna knock out these next two projects and have a moment. And I take my moments even in the midst of it too, bro. Like I'm real cognizant of mental health and taking moments for yourself to kind of breathe. And I think that's important for everybody. I tell people all the time, like, look, man, don't burn the candle on both ends to the point where there's no more candle left. You have to
right,
know when to say, okay, look, I got to take a day to myself, and you got to know that the world ain't gonna fall apart if you just take a day. Like for me, those days, make all the difference when you just make a decision to just say whatever you want to do for yourself, do it. And every because here's the thing, you're never gonna make everybody happy.
nah,
It's impossible.
nah.
So you might as well make yourself happy first.
Correct. And the reason we plan on doing this, my wife and I, is for the simple fact that one, my wife is never starstruck. When I was managing, doing marketing, doing for players and stuff like that, my little brother, Richard Wingo in the group, Jagged Edge, the
I know.
the my wife just don't ain't starstruck. And then it's one of those things like if you waste something, I always tell people, hey man, you better get it up for the wife because I ain't gonna take the blame for you. You better get because look,
Oh,
you get
no,
to
I
leave.
don't.
You get to leave. I gotta stay.
I don't want none of that smoke, dog. Right.
So, but it's just to be an environment, man, where you guys can let your hair down, and then nobody wants nothing from you. And like you say, just being a good, in good company, man, and just be yourselves, you know. And
Hey, I'm always do that. I always
well,
myself.
I know you gonna always be there. So
I
yeah,
walk in
we'll.
every room with myself, baby. I don't. I'm the thermometer, baby. I'm the thermostat. I'm never the thermometer, baby.
All right, I ain't mad at you, man. I appreciate you blessing us with your presence coming on the show. We want to love to have you back and pair you up with maybe another actor or different, and just talk about entertainment, acting from everybody's different perspective. I'm also working on a thing I would love to get you and your lovely wife on, which is um, doing an interview talking about just being married and being in cohabitat in the entertainment industry. I'm working on that also with Evelyn Champagne King, her and her husband. I'm working on it with Shirley Murdoch, her and her husband. So we want to be able to add you guys to that, and just get some wisdom and some blessings, when you guys, have a moment. We're looking somewhere later on down in the this year sometime. So
Hey man, put it together, bro. We're that's one thing Terry and I. One of the things we strongly agree on is about building pyramids with our people, man. Like for me, there's no greater honor than to support my brother. There's no greater honor to see you win. There's no greater honor to me be a part of you winning. And I know how this game works, man. We help each other, man. Like
yeah,
me, it's not even an issue, man. It's like if it's time, let's get in here and let's just really come together and have a
yeah.
moment and just really show the world what it looks like when Black people come together and work together, because that's really where we lost that as a people. We don't know how
I
to look at
I
each
I
other.
totally agree, man.
It's like we got to stop looking at each other as the less than allies and build together. So
And Bill, yep.
put it
I
together, man. And I'm here, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Once again, stay safe out there and stay blessed, man. And I
I'm gonna
will
stay dangerous, baby. I'm gonna stay dangerous.
blessed if dangerous. Stay blessed if dangerous on there. And I'm gonna reach back out to you, man, so we can start putting this stuff together, man.
Absolutely, King, man. Appreciate you, man. All love.
Love you, man. Be
Peace.
good. Peace.